Oh, welcome to what is the first entry, the first proper entry for my writing diary. So since I posted the update video last week, I think it was about the start of last week, I've managed to write 569 more words, bringing my total to 17,882. So that's about 3% more progress on the draft compared to what I had before. I actually went over when I went over to say house some of my family because I find a change of scenery actually can be helpful sometimes. But the biggest thing for this week was the magic system because the section I'm writing is focused on that. And something I'm discovering and that I like is that when I'm just talking about using the magic, um, it takes up a lot of space, which is actually what I want because it's firstly not very well understood by the main POV, um, and secondly because controlling the magic involves controlling your imagination, and so that means that when I'm describing what's going on, it's very abstract because nothing that's going on to make it work is physical. um, but what that means is it takes a lot of time and space in the book to explain. So this use of magic and the previous use of magic are themselves like each a page, and half of that page is just leading up to it happening. It's not describing the effect, just the process to get there. Because that idea of focusing the mind and in sort of the very abstract way in which that is done is quite important. But because it's so abstract, I think I need more specific terminology to use when talking about it. Because at the moment, basically, the three words I use are it's referred to as conjuration, um, and you are conjuring energy, so you're using your mind to conjure energy. Um, and so the idea is that by conjuring energy, you make the thing that you're imagining into a reality, and that thing that you make from the energy is called the effect. But energy and effect are rather generic terms. Energy is okay because it would be the closest thing she would understand what it is, but effect I feel is a bit too dry, and also when I'm explaining what's going on, in the book, it can feel it can become confusing because when you're referring back to it later on, it can be like what effect, because it sounds like it's referring to something specific. Um, when sometimes I'm really meaning the idea of using magic in general to create a effect. Um, and so I think when I go back and edit through this, I'm going to try and add more specific terminology. Um, but I'm slightly skeptical because it is supposed to be not very well understood by the main character. I mean that's part of why it takes so long to describe in the narrative because of that, and I want that to be part of how it appears to the reader. So I don't want to use too scientific terminology. So, well, I think I do know what I need to do. I'm going to try and be careful about it. Yeah, I think magic is a fun thing to play around with, but a lot of what makes it good to read is not just purely the ideas. I think it's actually the execution, and that's something that is often very specific to the idea of the system you've come up with, and so is probably hard to teach directly. It probably is will help by improving your writing craft in general. Um, so I hope that'll be part of what I do. Um, since it's coming up to Christmas, I'll be going away for about 3 weeks after Christmas. I will try and get 1 or 2 videos out during that period. I'll definitely be writing a lot during that period. But just because the place I'm going doesn't have very good internet or even like cell coverage, um, I may only be able to post one or none at all. Um, so it will be a bit up in the air during that period, but I will definitely be able to post some in mid-January and going forward into February. So this has been the first entry for this diary. Thank you for watching.